Hello, and moyen, and welcome to what I guess is technically the second episode in my series about universities, an exciting but extremely occasional series where we look at the world's greatest places to study, in brackets, if you like the kind of quirky alternative stuff that I do. In the only previous episode, nearly 2 years ago now, we recommended the Technical University of Dortmund, largely on the basis that it is the only university on Earth with its own suspended monorail. But on this channel, we like to cater to a wide variety of nerd. So, what if you're not really into retro-futuristic dangle trains, and your vibe is more... Then what if I told you there is a university that was built literally inside an old, disused steelworks, and it consistently ranks as the #1 university in the country? I haven't told you which country we're in yet. This is the main campus of the University of Luxembourg, in the suburb of Belleville, just outside Luxembourg's second biggest city, Esch. So admittedly, one of the reasons it's the best university in the country is that it's the only university in the country. But never mind that. If you're a fan of heavy metal, either the music or just literally, this might be the best university in the world. Let me show you what I mean. On your average day as a student here, you can wake up and get your morning coffee from an 80-metre tall industrial blast furnace, then spend your day inside an enormous former Coke warehouse that now happens to be the university library, before topping it all off with a night out at the Rock Hall, a venue which over the years has hosted concerts from the likes of Iron Maiden, Megadeth, Slipknot, Rammstein and... Mariah Carey. By the way, if you're wondering why there's no one around and the place seems completely dead, I am here on a Saturday morning. This actually turns out to be a great time to visit if you want to feel like you're in some kind of post-apocalyptic movie. But more importantly, what is the story behind all of this? And even more importantly, can we go inside any of it? The campus was constructed on the former site of the Belleville Steelworks. Technically only on one half of the site, because the other half next door is still an active steelworks. Here's what the steel plant looks like today, and now here's what it used to look like. That big brown bunch of buildings in the foreground is the old coal-fired furnaces, which became redundant in the 1990s when the plant upgraded to electric furnaces instead, and that's where the university campus now stands. But although it might look like they accidentally forgot to finish demolishing the steelworks before building the university, they were actually trying to preserve a significant part of the country's industrial history. When the Belleville plant first opened in 1912, there were so many people working in steel plants around here, it briefly made Luxembourg the world's 8th largest steel producing nation. And for years, the industry basically bankrolled the country, until the 1970s, when it suddenly didn't. The collapse of the global steel market in the 70s and 80s left Luxembourg littered with abandoned steel plants, and even the ones that survived had to downsize and modernise, which left a lot of people desperately looking for ways to retrain for new careers. The answer was university. The problem was Luxembourg didn't have one, and not everyone could afford to go abroad. And so it's almost literally out of the ashes of the old coal-fired blast furnaces that the University of Luxembourg was born. Of course, not all of the old buildings could be preserved. In fact, most of them were demolished and redeveloped, and the ones that were preserved still needed a lot of tidying up, which probably explains why the university opened in 2003, but only moved into Belleville in 2015. This big modern structure, by the way, is the main university building where most of the classes and lectures actually take place. Anyway, back to the industrial stuff. Now obviously, because I'm not a student here, I couldn't really show you inside the classrooms even if I wanted to. So instead, how about we go and explore inside the preserved section of the old steelworks? Okay, €5, and I've basically got an entire disused Steelworks to myself. Don't tell anyone. That €5 entry fee gets you access to the Mullerei, a Luxembourgish word that seems to mean something like giant storage facility. This fantastic old control room, where you'll find a tremendous array of levers and buttons that no longer actually do anything, I assume. And finally, the former blast furnace itself, which you can explore both here at ground level and here from an observation platform 40 metres in the air. So, to summarise, we've got a towering chamber of raging fire and molten iron, we've got a music venue that's hosted some of the biggest metal bands on the planet, and we've got a word with an umlaut on it. Is this the world's most heavy metal university? Well, clearly this is a very serious and important question, so I did a bit of research, and it turns out there is a small college in the Dutch city of Eindhoven where you can actually study heavy metal. They have a 3-year diploma course and everything. There also used to be short summer courses available at the University of Helsinki, although it looks like those may not be running anymore. So in conclusion, the University of Luxembourg probably isn't the best place to study heavy metal, but it might just be the most heavy metal place where you can study. And if you'd like to go to the University of Luxembourg, whether it's for a 3-year degree course or just for an afternoon, the campus has its own railway station called Belleval Université, and that's only a half-hour train ride from the capital city, Luxembourg. Meanwhile, entrance to the Steelworks Museum is €5 for adults, but free if you're under 21. And while the full visit involves climbing quite a lot of stairs, there is also an alternative wheelchair-accessible route where you still get to see nearly everything. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.